What is up with y'all, brothers? Welcome back to another Monkey Kong Gaming banger on the Monkey Kong Gaming channel. So anyways, bro, it's our second reaction video of the day, bro. I just finished watching the Nick Crowley children's show with a dark secret, bro. That shit low-key left me traumatized. That was a scary video. If you didn't watch that reaction video, watch it after this one. But in this video, we're going to be reacting to the NBA Finals that killed Dynasty. In this video, they're talking about the 2019 Finals with the Toronto Raptors against the Golden State Warriors. This is actually the first Finals I remember watching. So, I grew up in the Bay Area, you know what I'm saying? But, like, when the Finals was going on, like the 2015, 2016, I was a little-ass kid. I was playing Roblox while they were playing the Finals. The 2019 Finals is the first Finals I actually watched. So, NBA Finals that killed Dynasty. Let's watch this.
When I tell you that everything was on the line during the 2019 NBA Finals, I mean everything was on the line. After years of disappointment, the Toronto Raptors went all in. They traded the face of their franchise for a superstar with 1 year left on his contract. This was their one shot at winning it all, and if they did, they'd kill a dynasty. Golden State was on the cusp of a three-peat.
Yo, Toronto Raptors, screw you, bro. We could have three-peated, bro. Damn.
They'd cement themselves as one of the greatest dynasties in league history. But with Kevin Durant in the final year of his contract, a loss in these finals can see the future of the dynasty headed out the door. I'm telling you, everything was at stake during the 2019 NBA Finals, and they were either going to make you or break you.
Nah.
Entering the 2019 Finals, the Golden State Warriors were making their 5th consecutive Finals appearance, looking to win their 4th championship.
That's actually crazy. Oh, man. And
yeah, I'm back.
I don't care about your freaking makeup commercial, bro. Damn.
5 years. But half a decade ago, no one saw this coming. In 2015,
the Golden State Warriors literally came out of nowhere and started winning chips. That's crazy. They had no drafted. They had no traded stars. They drafted all their core pieces. I guess Andre Iguodala was traded from the Nuggets, I believe. But other than that, Curry was drafted, Clay was drafted, Draymond was drafted, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe Kevon Looney was drafted as well. Who paid? And of course they had KD. Of course they had KD down the line. But they made the 2015 Finals and they won that shit without KD. And then the 2016 Finals, 73-9 without KD as well. Imagine getting 73-9 off draft picks and a traded role player in Andre Iguodala. That's crazy.
Warriors were the NBA's darling, a young up-and-coming team that featured 2 of the best snipers in the league and an absolute maniac in the front court. And before you knew it, they were NBA champions. Despite their success, they were viewed as a one-hit wonder. They lucked out with injuries and they'd never make it back. But that's not exactly how it went. A unanimous MVP, a 73-9 season, and another appearance in the finals. Golden State was legit. And then they choked. A historical collapse in the 2016 Finals shocked the NBA world, but it opened the door to an interesting possibility. 15 days later, Kevin Durant was a Golden State Warrior, turning one of the greatest teams in NBA history into what is arguably the greatest team of all time. And they sure as hell played like it. They put up the single greatest postseason run in league history with a 16-1 record to get revenge on the Cavaliers.
Bro, imagine if Imagine if the 2017 Warriors won 16-0. Dude, we would have been the greatest, no cap. And how is it 15-1? Why isn't it how did these numbers work? Oh, because they didn't. What? I don't get it. I don't get it.
Greatest postseason run in league history with a 16-1 record.
Because I thought if you win the championship, you're supposed to win 16. So why is it 15? I don't even know.
To get revenge on the Cavaliers and capture their 2nd championship. And then they did it again. Back-to-back titles, 3 and 4 years, and they're officially a dynasty. But these cats wanted more. They were chasing immortality, and they had their eyes set on the three-peat. 2019 was a roller coaster for the Warriors. In a game against the Clippers just a month into the season, KD and Draymond got into a heated back and forth after Green didn't pass Durant the ball late in the game. Draymond reportedly told KD that they don't need him and that he should leave because the Warriors have won without him. To which
Green, keep your mouth, bro, be nicer to your teammates, man. You punched Jordan Poole, you said this shit to KD. We lost 2 instrumental parts of our team in 2 different years, bro. Kevin Durant, 2 Finals MVPs in a row. We lost him. Not because of this argument. I watched it, but you definitely caused tension between that. And then punching Jordan Poole, that's what caused him to get traded for freaking CP3, who left after a year. We didn't even get anything after that, bro. So, Draymond Green, I hope you don't do the same thing with Jimmy Butler, bro. We definitely need Jimmy Butler. Be nicer.
KD reacted by mouthing the words, "That's why I'm out."
That's why I'm out.
This was a massive story. Durant was in the final year of his contract, and his looming free agency clearly bothered him. And now just a handful of games into the season, the team's chemistry was in jeopardy. But at the end of the day, the Warriors were still the Warriors. They finished with a 57-win season and found themselves up against the Houston Rockets in round 2 of the playoffs. And in the
57 wins, that would be like 57-15, I believe. So I think OKC could reach 3 more losses, and OKC could match that. So I think they could probably beat that. 57-15 is crazy, though. Wait, no, 67. What? Okay, so no, never mind. I'm sure 57-25. That's the record. So of course, okay, yeah, OKC definitely beat it. So 67-15. I'm tripping. Why did I think it was a 17-game season? I'm tripping.
Third quarter of Game 5, the hopes of three-peating took a blow. On a normal-looking jumper, Durant weirdly strains his right calf. He's forced to leave the game and is out for the rest of the series. All of a sudden, Golden State seems beatable, but they still got Curry. Steph embarrassed the Rockets to get to the Western Conference Finals, and then he went nuclear. He averaged 36, 8, and 7 to sweep the Blazers and get back to the NBA Finals.
Oh my God.
The Dynasty and the three-peat.
I did not know that, bro. I'm glad we got Stephen Curry in our team, dude. Look at this is literally the greatest of all time type aura. Better than LeBron, better than MJ combined. No cap.
Alive. Reports state that KD is hopeful to make a return in the finals, and they'll need him because they're facing a team that has been knocking on the door for years now, and they may have just found the key. While the Warriors were making the NBA Finals year after year, the Toronto Raptors had their own yearly tradition. Like clockwork, they'd have an incredible regular season, finish as a top 3 seed in the East, and be viewed as legitimate contenders to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. That never happened. In 2016, Toronto made the Eastern Conference Finals and surprisingly pushed LeBron and the Cavs to 6 games before being eliminated. In 2017, they'd get their rematch in round 2, but they got swept. And then 2018 came around. The Raptors had their best season in franchise history. They finished as the first seed in the East, and Cleveland just lost Kyrie Irving during the offseason. If they were ever going to beat the Cavs, it was now. But instead, LeBronto happened. James put the Raptors to sleep.
Okay, who would win? 2018 Cavs versus 2019 Raptors, bro, with Kawhi Leonard. Because will LeBronto still happen? Who knows?
Buzzer beater in Game 3 to go up 3-0 in the series. They got swept, and it was a 3rd consecutive playoff exit to LeBron and the Cavs. The Raptors had the reputation of chokers and frauds, all because of one man. But luck would finally swing their way. LeBron signed with the Lakers during the 2018 offseason, and Toronto's championship window was suddenly wide open, and they went all in. The Raptors traded the face of their franchise in DeMar DeRozan to San Antonio for Kawhi Leonard. This was an insane gamble. Kawhi had injury concerns and hadn't played basketball for nearly an entire season, plus the fact that he has 1 year left on his contract and he has no interest in playing in Toronto. The Raptors had one shot at this. Literally everything was on the line, and the Kawhi era started out pretty well. They finished with a 58-win season and 2nd in the East despite all of Leonard's load management, and come playoff time, he was ballin'. especially in round 2 against the Sixers.
Here, if you're Philly.
It's off to Leonard, defended by Simmons.
Is this the dagger?
Is this the dagger?
Beautiful.
This moment is why the Raptors traded for Kawhi. A game-winning buzzer beater in Game 7 to finish with 41 points on the night. The dude was a machine. In the conference finals, they'd face the MVP and the first seed Milwaukee Bucks. And after going down 2-0 in the series, Kawhi demanded to guard Giannis, and it changed everything. Toronto won 4 straight games to clinch a spot in the NBA Finals for the first time in franchise history. Oh, and they'd have home court advantage. Entering Game 1, the Warriors stayed short-handed. KD was hopeful to make a return in the finals, but nothing was confirmed. And after Game 1, they'd clearly need his help if they wanted to three-peat. The Raptors got up by 10 points in the first half, and they kept their foot on the gas the entire game. Curry kept the Warriors afloat with 34, but it was cancelled out by Siakam's 32 on insane efficiency. And Toronto draws first blood.
No.
After a fairly decisive win in Game 1, the Raptors came out in Game 2 with a bang.
Deflected by Lowry. Nice pass ahead from Gasol.
That guy looks like Passionate.
Siakam throws down
Is that Dr. Disrespect? That's fucking Dr. Disrespect, bro. There's a pedophile in the stands. That's incredible. Wait, no, that's fucking horrible. Oh, hell no.
Siakam throws down a monster lob and the crowd goes crazy as part of a hot start for Toronto.
Okay, and by the way, Dr. Disrespect, you're a grown-ass man wearing that shit in public, bro. Bro, you're a character. You don't have to wear that. No, I don't think anybody would recognize you. Nobody knows what you look like anyway, bro. Why do you have to wear that shit in the NBA Finals, bro? Just pop up normally, dude.
No, but in the second half, the Warriors turned it on. Golden State tapped into another dimension and started the third quarter on an 18-0 run. It was an absolute takeover, but thanks to a 12-point quarter by Kawhi, Toronto was headed into the fourth, down just 8, which is when things got even worse for Golden State. At the 10-minute mark, Klay Thompson launches a 3 but lands awkwardly, suffering a hamstring injury and is forced to leave the game. The Warriors are now missing 2 of their 3 best players headed into crunch time of a crucial Game 2, and they somehow find themselves up 2 with 15 seconds left. A make can seal the game, but a miss would give the Raptors a chance to go up 2-0 in the series.
They try and knock it away from Curry. Curry throws
Let's
it.
go, Curry.
Livingston has it. Back to Iguodala.
Of everyone
Iguodala, let's go.
Open shot. Fate of the universe on the line, or the Martians have the death beam pointed at Earth. You better hit it. I want Iguodala.
It's gone. Andre Iguodala drills it.
Let's
Shout out Max Kellerman. With ice in his veins, Iguodala drains the dagger, and the series is tied at 1.
Come on, dude. We're tied at 1.
Klay Thompson's hamstring injury in Game 2 was worse than anticipated. He'd end up missing Game 3, and with KD still on the sideline, the Warriors were screwed. Actually, that's not entirely true. They still had Steph Curry.
They're 5-1.
Another ad, bro.
Legends? Microsoft has a brand new way to get Riot points.
Curry for 3. Curry shaking made 3-pointers. And goes. Curry glides inside and lays it up. Curry foul line jumper. Curry corner 3. It's good.
Steph turned into a human torch, dropping 47 points,
Oh my
the 9th
God.
most in a finals game ever, with 8 rebounds, 7 assists, and 6 threes.
What is this graphic, bro? That's funny.
It was an all-time performance, but it just wasn't enough. Kawhi poured in 30 as part of an all-around game and kept the Warriors at bay. Van Vliet threw in a rainbow 3 with a minute to go to put the game out of reach, and Toronto takes care of business.
Nah. And I know they go up 3-1
Down 2-1 in the
so.
series, the Warriors got some good news in Game 4. Klay was back, but none of that mattered in this game because Kawhi was on a mission to put his team up 3-1. The Claw lit it up with a 17-point first quarter with an array of jumpers. The dude was playing like a prime Michael Jordan, and in the third quarter, he had an encore. He started the second half by rimming in a three, getting a steal on Draymond, and pulling up for another triple right in his mouth for another 17-point quarter that put the Raptors ahead for good. Toronto takes a commanding 3-1 series lead behind Kawhi's 36-point, 12-rebound, and 4-steal masterpiece. He just put Golden State's Dynasty on the
that's
ropes,
actually impressive, Kawhi,
but their
though.
secret weapon was locked and loaded. The Slim Reaper was
KD.
back.
I already know what happens.
KD was making his long-awaited return to the finals in Game 5, and the dude was back like he never left. He exploded for 11 points in the first quarter, splashing home 3 3-pointers, and suddenly the
Let's be real. If KD wasn't injured, Clay doesn't get injured. Maybe even if Clay's still injured, but KD is there for the entire series, we're three-peating. Curry has 5 rings. Kawhi has 1 ring. Freaking KD has 3 rings. 3 finals MVPs, bro.
hopes of a 3-1 comeback and three-peating were alive again, and then in a split second, it was gone. That was it. Just 11 minutes into his return, Durant tore his right Achilles. Not only was the dynasty in jeopardy, but KD's future in basketball was just a massive question mark. We had no idea if we'd see the same player ever again. Without
And look at these freaking fans cheering, dude. That's so disrespectful.
The lead, and we're up 2 with 5 minutes left in the fourth. But as soon as the clock hit the 5-minute mark, Kawhi turned into the Claw.
Leonard for 3. Bang! Leonard drives, pulls up, bangs it home.
Nah.
Leonard's gonna try another one. Puts it in.
Nah.
Leonard to the rim. Pull up.
No, if the Clippers somehow win the chip this year, unless the Warriors are not versus them and we're like out of playing contention, if Kawhi and James Harden win a ring this year, that'd actually be fire. But unless I'll be supporting them, but if they're against the Warriors, fuck them. But if they're not against the Warriors, I'm gonna be supporting them, bro. That's real.
Kawhi Leonard taking over here in Game 5.
Leonard went unconscious, scoring 10 straight points for the Raptors to put them up by 6. But when the clock hit the 2:40 mark, it became splash time.
Splash,
Clay
brothers.
lasers a triple to cut the lead to 3 with a minute to go. Steph laces a fading 3 to tie the game, and the next possession, Clay pump fakes, takes one dribble, launches a shot, and puts them up 3. This game was madness. There's 10 seconds left and Toronto's down by 1. One shot can win them the championship. Kyle Lowry, the heart and soul of the Raptors, gets a good look in the corner, but Draymond gets a piece of it. The Warriors' big 3 comes through to keep the dynasty alive and force Game 6.
Let's see Game 6, Clay.
Game 6 was a breaking point for both teams. Do the Raptors fall back on their past failures and fail to close out the series for a second game in a row? Or can the Warriors make it back-to-back wins in the wake of losing Kevin Durant and avoid elimination? We were about to find out. In fitting fashion, the face of the franchise caught fire early for the Raptors. Kyle Lowry scored the first 11 points for his squad as part of a 15-point first quarter. But thanks to Clay's 18 in the first half, the Warriors headed into the break, up 3. And in the third quarter, both teams started throwing haymakers. At the 8-minute mark, Kawhi makes an insanely tough and 1 to put Toronto up 6. In Game 6, Clay had an answer. In transition, he pulls up for a 30-foot heat check, and of course, he makes it to tie the game at 76. To which Kawhi answers with another and 1, and then Clay responds again with another 3 to give himself 30 on the game, and we're only in the third quarter. The man was a flamethrower, but just a minute later, that flame was put out.
No!
While going up for a layup, Clay gets fouled.
Poor Clay, man. Like, 2019 makes me hella sad when I watch it, bro. Because we could have three-peated. But just think about it, like Toronto, I don't even think they had a championship before this. So, as my mom said, I remember I was watching this championship with my mom. She was actually cheering for the Raptors during Game 6. Like, what the fuck? I was like, what the fuck, Mom? But like low key, I understand the reason of the thought. If you're not really that into basketball, just seeing other teams win their first trip, bro. Like we already won 2 to prior. We already run 3 actually. We won 3 in the last 4 years, bro. Like this didn't hurt that much as 2016.
Lands awkwardly and grabs at his left knee in agonizing pain.
Oh.
He gets helped off the court.
Okay, guys, if this guy... Okay.
And that's it for
Durant's?
Clay. Or...
Okay, why is Durant helping him? Like, isn't Durant injured? He could walk?
So we thought. Halfway to the dressing room, Clay makes a 180 and sprints
Whoa.
back to the court.
Sprints? Yo, sprints?
The Warrior crowd roars to his return. Little did we know that Clay had just torn his ACL, and with absolute
How do you sprint with a torn ACL?
heart and toughness,
I think that's just the adrenaline, huh?
he swishes down both his free throws and then makes his way back to the locker
Come on.
room. That was the last time we'd see Clay on the court for over 2 years. Despite losing Clay and having no KD, the Warriors kept the game close headed into the fourth quarter, and it saw Fred VanVleet turn into a monster.
Yo, Fred VanVleet, you are phenomenal.
With
I
9
was about to
minutes
say
to
something devious, but
go, he nails
come
a
on. Basketball, it's just basketball.
3 to tie the game at 91, following it up with another right in Curry's grill to put the Raptors up 1. And at the 3-minute mark, Quinn Cook loses him on the pick and roll, and he knocks down another triple to kickstart a 7-1 Toronto run to go up 6. VanVleet was putting the team on his back, but the dynasty didn't go away so quietly. Draymond answered with a 3, and then DeMarcus Cousins
Draymond.
threw in a wild layup to get the Warriors within 1 with 46 seconds left. On the next possession, Siakam drives down, Draymond reaches for a steal, and he
That's a
steps
foul.
right around him to float it in and go up 3 with 26 seconds left. And that was it for Golden State. Nah, I'm just kidding. Steph responds with 2 free throws to cut the lead back to 1. The Raptors inbound, the ball gets thrown to Danny Green, and he rips it into the first row. The Warriors have a chance. With less than 10 seconds left, Golden State has the ball down by just 1. Steve Kerr draws up a beautiful play to free up the man who started this dynasty, and it's up to him to keep it alive.
Get him the ball and get out of his way. An NBA championship on the line. Iguodala throws it to Green, who catches it. Back to Curry, puts up a 3. The Golden State Warriors are the 25th NBA champions. Their
Does it actually
first
go in?
title in 40 years. There it is, redemption for Golden State. One of the great playoff runs of all
Bro,
time.
dude, this is emotional.
Is complete. There's a new dynasty in the NBA. The Golden State Warriors champions once again.
No, bro.
There's a new NBA champion. Team from Toronto, Canada. We the North
Even though I already knew it was gonna happen, bro. Nah, bro.
are now we the champions. The Raptors, the 2019 NBA champs.
With the last breath of my soul,
Hey, no. End of Dynasty. We still won 2022. What are you talking about? What's this dude's name again? Post 2K, bro. And we about to win 2025. The Raptors, they can't even if they freaking sold their soul for a championship, I don't even think they can make the playoffs, bro. Their record's like freaking, what even is the record, bro? The record is like freaking, we're like 60 games into the season. Their record is literally 159. Let's check out the Toronto Raptors. Let's check out NBA standings, bro. Look at this. Raptors 25 and 24-7. Bro, if you make the play-in, maybe you could make it into the first round. If you're the 10th seed, maybe you can make it to the first round, bro. The Heat are ass right now. I mean, Andrew Wiggins just hit 42. But the Heat are ass right now. Maybe you can catch up to the Heat. But let's be real. Once you get in that first round, that's the highest you're going. You are getting blown out by the freaking number 1 seed Cleveland Cavaliers, bro. Okay? Or maybe the Cleveland Cavaliers keep choking their next few games and they do the Celtics instead, bro. You guys are cooking, bro. And then with the Warriors, we got Jimmy Buckets. We got Steph Curry. We got Draymond Green. We got Gooey Santos. Gooey Santos, bro. And Gary Payton II. Alright? So, bro, Kawhi Leonard, you are devious, bro. I'm not going to hold against you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants their second ring. Curry already had 3 at this point. Kawhi only had 1. So I understand you're fire, bro. But fire video by Post2K, bro. If y'all enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.